you wonderful learning individuals. It is a pleasure. How are you all doing today? It is so great to have you. Thank you also so much for pressing the play button. I'm Johnny, your host with HomeCountry Mathematics. Please feel free to stay to also learn, because you know, mathematics can really be fun. Now, let us learn some math together, shall we? All right, guys and gals, it is so great to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much for learning along with the channel. It is so great to have you. We are on blah 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 blah. We are on Unit A, Section 1-2. The topic is adding and subtracting rational numbers. Let's do this. All right, guys and gals, we are now doing, the last few videos have been find each sum. This video is, and the next 2 or 3, I'm guessing, we are going to be doing find each difference. Let's do this. Oh, math is fun. I love this. All right. Quickly, I'm going to talk about the integer number line grid. This is something, that you do have to have knowledge of and an understanding for. Something like this, you could kind of snipping tool or create your own if you like. Print it off 8.5 by 11. Cut this in half. Connect the zeros, however you do so. Tape, glue, gum, bubble gum. Whatever you want, whatever you choose. The idea or concept that from all values starting at 0, 0 is center. All positive values go to the right and increase in a positive direction, and also infinitely. And going back to 0 again, all negative values go to the left. They also increase in the left direction in a negative fashion and also infinitely. All right, let's do this. We have -19 subtract 8, okay? Most of you who have been following along, you are so great. I love it. Thank you for blah, 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 blah. Thank you for following along and being a big part of this. It's so great to have you. Okay, so to continue on, when you have like signs or same signs, as you can see, I'll go over kind of the definitions again. Any sign, right? Any sign, whether it be positive or negative. Again, writing the negative, you're being explicit. If you have a whole number 19 with no sign, we all know it as being a positive. Okay? Now, the sign on the left, the whole number on the right of the sign owns that sign. It's an ownership thing. So the whole number 19 is actually a negative value. Okay? I know most of you understand that. But I'm just going to go through, the explanation and all those sort of things regardless. Okay? Thank you for your understanding. Also, right here as well. Okay? This 8, this whole number 8, yes, this is a subtraction step in our mind, right? but the 8 actually is, technically speaking, also a negative. So therefore, cleaning this up, what we have here, if you look at it and just separate it, you can clearly see we have two different whole numbers, both being negatives. With that said, because we have same signs, this means we are increasing. Okay? We are increasing with same signs. All right, if you notice, let's see, I could actually do this one. I know I haven't showed this too much here, but let's do this, okay? Right here, okay, negative 19 or negative 8. Oh, actually, we're going to be going over. Yeah, we will be. That's okay, I'll do my best. We're going to start at negative 8. Okay, we are in the negative, right? We're left of 0. And we're basically going 19 jumps. It doesn't really matter which value you start with. I could begin with the negative 19, or I could begin with the negative 8. It doesn't matter, as long as you're going in the right direction. Mathematically, it all still works out. I look at these as like jumps, right? How many jumps are you going to make? So from negative 8, we're going left, negative 19 jumps. Whenever you have a negative, you're going left, okay? I'm going to kind of go outside here, but so let's count the jumps. 1, so negative direction, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're going to end up at negative 27. Right? I kind of ran out of room there, but you guys and guys and gals, you understand, right? This is nice having this integer number line grid when the values are small, but when you're kind of going outside the scope, if you will, we have no choice but to do it mathematically. So I am trying to teach the understanding when you have the same signs, you can essentially add the numbers together, okay? The first thing you're going to do is go, okay, they're both negative. My answer is going to be negative. That's the very first thing. So now you have your sign. You're done, okay? You know the sign. So you could just simply add the two numbers together. It's really that easy. We're adding, but again, it's no different. It's a direction thing, right? We're increasing, therefore adding in the sense. Okay? 9 and 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I used to use the 3 dots, and I would just count 3 dots. Kind of when I was in early school. That's how I was doing it when I was learning. 17, carry the 1. And 1 and 1 is 2. So we have 27. All right. Again, you could do this on the side of a piece of paper or scrap paper. This is kind of separate from what we're doing here. Well, they both work together to get our answer, right? Okay. That is it. Right there. Negative 27. I am doing my best to try to keep this interesting and fun, because, you know, I want you all to succeed at this. I really, truly do. All right, let's do some more. Again, I always recommend the more you do, the better you're going to get. Practice makes perfect. All right, 16. We have a subtraction. And then I'm just going to create separation. And kind of repeat steps that I've already explained, but that's okay. Repetition is good for memory's sake. So what we have here is 16, subtract, and then there's kind of like this empty void space. Okay? Which is like an unknown. Most people aren't aware about it, but there's actually a value there. Okay? That value is called imaginary 1. So it may look to most people like we're doing a negative, and we have a negative and a negative, so it creates kind of this, what is happening here? What is actually happening here is a multiplication step. So we're actually going -1 times -23. That's what's happening here. It's kind of a hidden multiplication step. So math rules, let's go over the math rules quickly. Common math rules, I probably should have explained these in past videos, but I'll do it now. Math rules, just basic mathematical rules, all right? Any value multiplied by 0, so it could be any value, multiplied by 0. A raised dot infers multiplication. Always equals 0, okay? That's multiplication. In turn, any value divided by 0, if you remember, guys and gals, this is the rule I want you to remember. Undefined. Okay, this is important to remember this. Okay, so if you get an answer, or you're working on a problem and it works out to be a fraction, a lot of mathematical problems will end up being a fraction. Okay, if normally we'll call this P over Q. If Q is equal to 0, it is basically undefined. Where did I have that? Let's see. I had a definition for you here. Let me find that again. Definition of undefined. I will go over that again once I find it here. Bear with me, please. Just scrolling through my notes here. Oh, I scrolled down instead of scrolling up. My apologies. All right, the meaning of undefined in mathematics. Undefined means a term that is mathematically inexpressible or without meaning. Anything or any value divided by 0 is considered undefined by the rules of mathematics. Okay? Please do remember this. As you advance, I'm not sure what grade you're in, and it's none of my business. Say you're in grade 9, 10, as you advance levels, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, maybe you have the idea of going to college. I don't know. That's a conversation between you and your parents. But if you're in college, you'll see this as well, right? The term undefined. You may even see it in high school. I don't know. I imagine you should come across it at some point in your mathematical journey. Okay? So when something is undefined, this means that there are no solutions. So two things you could write. You could write undefined as an answer, or you could write no solutions. Okay, I know I'm going over this again. A lot of you may have already seen this. It's great to have you watching the content. It's really amazing. But this is part of the repetition too, for memory's sake, right? Okay. I'm going to continue over the rules here and try to finish up. So again, right? I'll just clean things up here. So any value multiplied by 0 always equals 0. And if Q is equal to 0, it's not supposed to be, right? So where Q cannot be equal to 0, that's kind of the situation. Q cannot be equal to 0. Otherwise, you end up with an undefined or no solutions. All right, I'm going to stop at that. All right, we obviously know that any value multiplied by 0 equals 0. That is consistent. Same thing with any value multiplied by 1. I know a lot of this is kind of common, easy stuff, guys and gals. But we're going to go through it, okay? So any value multiplied or even divided by 1, okay? So 235, for example, multiplied by 1 is going to return to you the same answer, right? In turn, it's the same thing if it is being divided. Okay? And 1, right? Okay. Now those are all basic common rules, majority of you know, that's fine. I wanted to kind of go over some of the rules, okay? What else? We have, don't forget your signs when solving problems. It's either a positive or a negative answer, right? So that's another thing, another tip to always kind of remember. What's my sign? We're going to do the math here, and then the next question we're going to ask is, what is our sign going to be? Okay, and then we'll work it out. And so math tips and tricks, math rules, okay? Math rule. So here, let me do this. I'm going to write even. And odd, okay? And I'll explain what I mean. All right, so let's say, for example, you had a -1. I'm just going to use -1, okay? Now remember, if you have two parentheses beside each other, like such, as so, let's say we had x and y, for example. All right? It always infers or implies multiplication, okay? So multiplication. Right? Okay, let me clean that up. So if we have an odd number, so I'm going to go like this. -1. This is what I mean. -1 and a -1. Because sometimes you could have more than two sets of parentheses, right? So we have an odd number of evens and an even number of evens. Okay, so 1 negative, 2 negatives. That's an even number, right? We have 1, 2, 3 negatives. That's an odd number. Okay, that's what I mean by even and odd. So what's the result going to be? I almost wish I gave myself a little bit more room here. I apologize. Okay, the answer or result is always going to be positive. Okay, the sign in front of your value, whether it could be a whole number or a decimal or a fraction, that's what the sign is going to be. Okay, and it's always like that. We could have 5 negatives, Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives. We're still going to end up with a negative. Okay, doesn't matter. I could have 17 negatives being multiplied together. It's always going to end up being a negative. Okay, so just remember that. So all you need to do, and this is in regards to multiplying and dividing as well. If you divide two negatives, you're going to still end up with a positive. Okay? This is multiplication, all right? And or division. So remember these rules. So you can count, oh, I'm multiplying two negatives. Oh, therefore my answer is going to be positive. Oh, I have 1, 2, 3 negatives being multiplied together. Therefore my answer is going to be negative. I know this just from grinding lots of math. This is my experience. My experiences I'm sharing with you. How are we doing for time here? Okay, we're kind of over that time. A little bit. I wanted to go over the math rules a little bit. And then the concept of imaginary one, right? That's the other thing. Okay, remember, imaginary one does exist. All right, stay tuned. Next video, and I will continue on with these problems. I figured probably the best approach to this is to begin with the math rules. Math rules. And in fact, it does. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. All right. That is it. I am Johnny. I appreciate you watching and following me along and being part of this. I'll see you in the next video. For now, take care.